for attending today's online class. Now, do you sometimes arrive at the grocery store and have trouble remembering what you are there to get? Or do you occasionally have trouble remembering where you left your car in the parking lot? Or do you walk into a room and forget why you went into that room in the first place? Or do you sometimes forget someone's name immediately after meeting them? Well, you're not alone. Losing your keys, misplacing a wallet, or forgetting someone's name are very common experiences. But as we get older, memory lapses can be frightening. It's important to understand that our brains change over time, and it's helpful to be able to distinguish normal changes from those that require medical and psychological attention. Now, here's an important tip. Normal memory problems do not affect your everyday living. If you forget where you put your keys, it could be that you were distracted when you placed them down, or you probably just need to get better organized. However, if you forget that keys are used to unlock doors, or if you forget how to carry out everyday tasks, such as handling money or paying bills, then you should speak with your doctor. Additionally, not being able to learn new things, such as how to operate a new microwave, or to take an alternate route to the grocery store, or not recalling the names of loved ones is not a normal part of aging. Again, talk to your healthcare provider if your memory problems are affecting your everyday living. If you or a loved one is having memory problems that are more bothersome than you would normally expect, don't automatically assume that it's Alzheimer's or another form of dementia is the culprit. Glitches in memory can be caused by many physical and psychological conditions that are reversible. For example, the following common conditions can lead to memory problems: anxiety, dehydration, depression, infections, the side effects of our medications, poor nutrition, stress, substance abuse, and thyroid imbalance. If you identify and treat the condition, your memory will improve. Now, memory can be defined as the ability to recall information that has been previously learned. Forgetting often occurs when information isn't attended to, or it fades away, or an interference blocks access to the information that is in question. Now, there are three basic parts to memory: encoding, storage, and retrieval. Encoding is defined as the initial learning of the information. It involves paying attention to the new information that is presented. In order for you to remember something, you have to pay attention to it. For example, a red car may drive by in front of you, but if you do not notice it, you won't remember it. Now, storage refers to maintaining that information over time, whether it's short-term or long-term. And retrieval is the ability to access that information when you need it. All three of these processes determine whether or not something is remembered or forgotten. So, if you meet someone for the first time at a party, first you need to encode her name. For example, Kimberly Jones, while you associate her name with her face. Then you need to maintain or store that information over time. If you see her a week later, you need to recognize her face and have it serve as a cue to retrieve her name. Any successful act of remembering requires that all three stages be intact. Now, there are several tools that you can use to improve the three processes of memory. During this online course, we are going to focus on the following tips in order to help us improve the encoding, storage, and retrieval of information by paying attention, assigning meaningfulness, creating associations, getting organized, using mental imagery, avoiding distractions that divert your attention, and doing fun brain exercises. So let's begin with the first tip, attention. Frequently, when people say they cannot remember something, it is likely that they weren't paying close enough attention to it to begin with. If you want to store something into your memory, you must pay attention to it and concentrate on it. Failure to pay attention is another reason for forgetfulness. Note to self, always pay attention. And then pay close attention to what you need to remember by saying it out loud to yourself. Try this. Consciously announce your actions out loud. For example, if you have difficulty remembering why you entered a certain room, before leaving a room, say out loud what you are going to do in the next room. For example, I'm going to the kitchen to get a pen out of the drawer. Or if you repeatedly lose your keys, try this. Each time you place your keys down, say out loud where you are placing them. Another tip to help you reclaim your memory is to assign meaning. The more meaning something has to you, the more likely you are to remember it. And rhymes and rhythms can be used to add more meaning to events, such as dates. For example, if you remember in school learning the song, in 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue, a great way to help you remember that date. Or 30 days have September, April, June, and November, another way to help you remember the days of the month that have 30 days. So try this. Make up a rhyme or ring or jingle to the tune of your favorite song that includes the things you want to accomplish that day. Or you can use acronyms as another way to make information meaningful. Let's say while driving to the grocery store, you realize you forgot your grocery list on the kitchen counter. You are able to recall what you need to buy, but you're worried that you may forget once you arrive to the store. So try this. Create an acronym such as COMB to help you remember cereal, oranges, milk, and bread. Now this tip is useful because acronyms reduce the amount of information to be remembered. Most adults can store between 5 to 9 items in their short-term memory. But if we chunk information together through the use of acronyms, it allows us to be able to store a lot more information in our short-term memory. You can also use associations to help you improve your memory. The more associations that you make between new information and objects that are familiar to you, the easier it will be to remember the new information. For example, it will probably be easier for you to draw the outline of Italy versus drawing the outline of Denmark, because when learning about Italy, someone probably associated it with resembling a boot. Long-term memory is stored and retrieved by association. That is why you can remember what you went upstairs for if you go back to the room where you first thought about it. So associations are made through analogies, metaphors, or examples using compare and contrast. If you meet someone for the first time, you can encode their name while you associate their name with their face. Try this. When someone introduces themselves to you, try to associate their name with something else. For example, a picture an apple on top of a gate to recall someone named Mrs. Applegate. Now you can also tag new information by relating it to something you already know. It makes it easier to recall. Let's say you are in the car on your way to the hardware store and you have forgotten to make a list of the 5 items that you need. While you still remember them, relate each item to one of the 5 pieces of furniture in your family room. A shiny new hammer on top of the TV, a roll of duct tape on the seat of your favorite chair, and so on. So when you get to the store, visualize the 5 pieces of furniture and their 5 items. The next tip is organization. Organizing information can help aid retrieval. Imagine a patient being discharged from a hospital whose treatment involved taking various pills at various times, changing their dressing, and doing exercises. If the doctor gives these instructions in the order which they must be carried out throughout the day, this will help the patient to remember them. So, if you're having difficulty relocating something at home once you've put it away, try developing your own type of organizational system so that finding it can be easier, because it's just a matter of routine. To accomplish this, establish routine ways of doing things on a daily basis. For example, if you take your medicines at the same time every day, you are more likely to remember to take them. Or try this. Develop a routine that you choose to do every day when entering your room. Greet your loved ones or your pets. Place your keys on the key rack holder. Take off your shoes. Sit down in your favorite chair. Take a few deep breaths and then open and sort your mail. Also, keep everything in its place. If you always put your reading glasses in the same place, you will always know where they are. So, by placing them on the nightstand each night, you're more likely to find them. Also, place items that you don't want to forget in a place where you will always see them when you need to. For example, hang your keys by the exit door that you use the most often. Now, using imagery is another useful tool to help improve your memory. Imagery is simply the formation of mental pictures. For example, trying to remember a phone number by repeating it in your head is a common method. But what may help you is to use imagery. Visualize the numbers being written on a chalkboard. This allows you to create a mental picture of the numbers that may be processed more completely. When trying to remember someone's name, pay close attention and notice something unique about the person as you repeat their name in your head. For example, if the person's name is Kathy and you see that she has curly hair, you would say in your head, Kathy with the curly hair. Thus, when you visualize or recall her face with her curly hair, you will remember that her name is Kathy. Now, if she straightens her hair one day, you might have a problem. But otherwise, the use of imagery is a great way to help you remember names, numbers, events, locations, and so on. Now, the next one is a big one. Avoid distractions that divert your attention. Distractions can range from trying to do several things at once to loud noises in the background. Even your thoughts can distract your attention, making it difficult for you to remember new information. For example, if you're preoccupied with a stressful job or home environment and you're not paying attention to where your friend gives you directions to her new home, you will not be able to recall how to get there. And lastly, maintaining a strong mind is just like keeping your body in shape. Keeping your mind active involves practicing memory exercises that build your mental muscles. Utilizing a few memory games can help your mind stay sharp over the years. Whether you practice alone or in a group, memory games can keep your mind in peak condition. So, get your local newspaper to find a complete section of daily mind teasers that improve your memory. Solve them over your morning tea or take them as an activity while you're waiting in the waiting room for daily appointments. Incorporating these mind games into your everyday life is an easy way to build a stronger mind. However, if you start to notice the crossword puzzles becoming too easy, you have lost the challenge aspect that leads to memory improvement. The benefit of crossword puzzles lies in constantly stimulating your mind. When they start to seem simple, the challenge is gone. Switch up the games you play to include word searches, Sudoku, and other newspaper puzzles. The American Alzheimer's Association endorses Sudoku for increasing active brain cells and promoting a healthier mind. So here we go. Let's play our first game. This brain booster game will help you improve the first process of memory, encoding, by forcing you to pay attention in order to answer the question. So, what is the number of the parking spot that the car is parked in? I'll give you a few seconds to take a guess. If you answered 87, you are correct. If you flip the picture over, you will see that the numbers are in order: 86, 87, 89, and so on. Here's another one. Can you guess which house the prisoner is hiding in? Remember to pay close attention. I'll give you a few seconds to try to figure it out. If you answered house A, you are correct. The car is facing forward is the getaway car because it is the only car facing towards the street. Now, you may have seen and maybe tried this game in the Sunday paper many times. You may think it's only for kids, but it's actually a great brain exercise game because you have to remember what you see in one picture and compare it to what you see in the other. That is, you have to use your short-term memory. Now take a look at this picture and see if you can spot the differences. There are 12. I'll give you a few seconds to see if you can find them. So, did you notice that in the flower, the second one, there's something missing in the middle of it? And if you look at the giraffe that is leaning towards the window, his horn is hidden. And then a spot on the giraffe's neck is missing. And then inside of the giraffe's ear, the shaded color is missing, the one that is standing tall. And if you look at the curtains, one of the curtain tie is colored in, while the other one is not. And then if you look at the flower shape, the flower box, one of the heart patterns is colored in, while in the other picture it's not. And then another spot on the other giraffe is missing. And at the very top, you may notice that the clouds have moved. And then the pull on the blind has also moved. And then the opening in the tree leaves at the very bottom where the bushes are has moved. And then lastly, the giraffe's ear is different. If you notice the giraffe leaning towards the window, one of his ears is facing down while the other one is facing up. Now, additionally, the following games also increase creativity, problem-solving skills, and concentration. Chess in particular actually raises your IQ and can help prevent dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Board games such as Monopoly and Scrabble also increase brain function. Monopoly helps you balance constant decisions about budgeting and purchasing property while maintaining steady business relationships with other players. And Scrabble helps increase your vocabulary. Like during those times when you can't think of that word, well, Scrabble is a great way to help you improve that. And also, it also improves abstract thinking. So be sure to include these games when planning your next game night. Additional tips to improve your memory include socializing with others. Participating in social and community activities has been shown to improve mood and memory function. Additionally, physical activities such as brisk walking help boost and maintain brain function. Also, find a new way home or find a new way to the grocery store to help improve your memory. Focus on noticing new landmarks and putting together a new, more detailed mental map of the area. As soon as one route gets familiar, continuously find a new one. This engages your brain's hippocampus, which is the seat of learning and memory. Additionally, learning a new skill that is outside of your comfort zone will help improve your memory. If you've been doing crossword puzzles for 10 years, try something new and different and work at it for 2 to 3 hours per week. So don't assume that little memory lapses mean that you have dementia. Keep a sense of control and confidence in your memory. Use memory aids to gain and maintain confidence. Also, don't buy into ageist stereotypes about memory decline. Studies have shown that having positive beliefs about aging can actually improve your memory performance in older adults. So in conclusion, the memory glitches that occur normally as we get older are very subtle and do not have to interfere with your daily life. In fact, you can easily adapt to them by making lists, establishing routines, and using associations, and employing other memory aids that were discussed in this presentation. So don't forget to remember. So thank you for participating in today's online course. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. The following is a list of online courses that will be available in October. Please register by typing in the URL located under the topic, or if you would like the online courses emailed to you, please contact Vanessa Schmidt at 909-335-4131. Thank you for listening and have a great day.
Thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you Dr. Godot for that wonderful presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to email them directly to the email shown on this last slide, and a copy of today's presentation will be emailed directly to you at the end of the webinar. Once you do exit out of today's webinar, you'll be prompted to take a short survey to let us know what you thought of today's presentation. Thank you again for joining us, and have a happy and healthy day.